Life as Allosaurs, from eggs to death. Imagine stepping into a world where colossal creatures ruled the land, their every step shaking the earth beneath. This is the story of the Allosaurus, a giant predator that roamed the late Jurassic period, around 155 to 150 million years ago. From the moment it hatched as a tiny, fragile egg to its eventual demise as an apex hunter, the Allosaurus life was a relentless journey of survival and power. The journey of the Allosaurus begins in the warmth of a nesting ground, hidden away in a vast prehistoric landscape. Allosaurus eggs were laid in small clutches, often nestled among plants and other vegetation to keep them hidden from potential predators. These eggs, roughly the size of a melon, were soft-shelled, unlike the hard shells of modern-day reptiles, providing little protection. The mother, though not a caregiver in the traditional sense, likely laid them and left, trusting that the warm environment would help them hatch in time. The Allosaurus eggs incubated under the sun, and within a few months, tiny hatchlings emerged. Despite their size at birth, they were already well-equipped with sharp teeth and claws, traits that would serve them as they grew into one of the most fearsome hunters of their time. However, survival wasn't guaranteed. Predators like raptors, larger theropods, and even scavengers roamed the landscape, ready to snatch up any unprotected or weak hatchling. However, survival wasn't guaranteed. Predators like raptors, larger theropods, and even scavengers roamed the landscape, ready to snatch up any unprotected or weak hatchling. As the young Allosaurus grew, its life shifted from vulnerability to aggression. The first few years were crucial for survival, with the young predators focusing on hunting smaller animals. These early hunts were often solo, relying on speed and cunning to take down prey. The juvenile Allosaurus was not yet capable of hunting large herbivores, such as the massive sauropods, but it did have a sharp mind and an instinct for survival. By the time it reached about 6 years of age, the Allosaurus was starting to mature. It would begin to form packs, an unusual yet effective strategy among theropods. In these groups, the young Allosaurus would learn the art of coordination, honing its skills for bringing down large, formidable prey. Herds of long-necked dinosaurs like the Brachiosaurus or the Stegosaurus might have been within reach for an Allosaurus pack, but their success was a result of teamwork, rather than solo hunts. As the Allosaurus reached adulthood at around 10 years of age, it became an apex predator in its environment. No longer needing the support of a pack, it became a lone hunter, targeting the largest prey available. At nearly 30 feet long, with sharp serrated teeth, a strong bite force, and claws designed for tearing flesh, the Allosaurus was a deadly predator. Its primary weapon, however, was its speed. Capable of running at speeds of up to 30 miles per hour, it was faster than most of its prey and could launch surprise attacks with precision. The Allosaurus didn't rely solely on brute strength. It was also a clever predator. It knew how to exploit weaknesses, often targeting the vulnerable members of herbivore herds. It would stalk, ambush, and then tear into the flesh of its prey with incredible power, often inflicting fatal wounds to incapacitate the animal quickly. But despite its prowess, the Allosaurus was not invincible. Injury, disease, or competition from other predators could take its toll. Sometimes these mighty hunters were forced to flee or risk injury. The death of an Allosaurus came not from a single dramatic event, but from the passage of time and the harsh realities of nature. While these animals lived long enough to become dominant hunters in their environment, they were not immune to the dangers of the prehistoric world. As an aging Allosaurus, its body would begin to wear down. Wounds from past battles, the strain of constant hunting, and the toll of aging would eventually catch up with it. Even apex predators have enemies, other theropods, larger carnivores like the Tyrannosaurus rex, or even an entire herd of herbivores, if threatened enough, could turn against it. As the Allosaurus aged, it might have faced stiff competition for resources or territory, potentially dying from malnutrition or injury. In some cases, the death of an Allosaurus could be sudden, the result of a fatal wound received during a hunt or a territorial dispute. In others, it could be slow and agonizing, as the predator's body gave way to age and the constant wear of living as a top predator. After death, the Allosaurus body would eventually be scavenged by smaller predators, scavengers, and the elements, breaking it down into the cycle of life that defines all ecosystems. its bones would lie forgotten beneath the earth. It's preserved by time and eventually uncovered by paleontologists millions of years later, offering a glimpse into the life of one of the most terrifying creatures to ever walk the earth. The life of the Allosaurus, from its humble beginnings as a vulnerable hatchling to its death as an apex predator, was one marked by survival, ferocity, and the constant battle for dominance in a brutal world. The story of this prehistoric giant is a testament to the power and fragility of life, where each creature's journey is as unpredictable as the land they roam. Despite its fearsome reputation, the Allosaurus' existence was ultimately tied to the natural cycles of life and death, leaving behind only the echoes of its ancient roar.